So it's kind of dangerous, like the sharp teeth, right? And here again, Miro is using that dangers and that destruction and to describe what's going on at his time.
Yeah, in many of his paintings, you'll also find stars and moons. So it's kind of depictive again of that escape world or dream world that you can go to.
Yeah, to escape from. I also find interesting that his work is very childlike. It's almost he is a child to going through all this tragedy and going through all this experience here.
So one of the things that's unusual about his paintings is the background. So Ms. Shu-Chih, do you want to help us understand why he may have painted the background like that?
Right, so for the background, you can see is very fuzzy and has a lot of textures. And I want you to close your eyes and gently close it and describe to me, what did you see? I know it's not going to be a pitch dark because there's still light. So what I see when I close my eyes, there's all different types of textures and kind of sparkling. And there's a very fuzzy shape that when I close my eyes. So now open your eyes and look at the textures that Joe Miro tried to depict on the background, to showing you that this is more like a, when you close your eyes, a dreamlike kind of world that he's taking us in. So from there, what we're going to do today is we are going to observe and making a chart, and it's called roll a Miro. So you will need a dice if you have one, but if you don't have one, not to worry about it. You can also make a paper and that has a different number, different dice to it, and I explain it to you in a second. So here we have a chart, okay? So your chart's gonna look like this because I recreated. So your chart gonna look like this. On top of it, it has a body shape, the head. Oh, I'm gonna put this right here a little bit so you guys can see it. You have body shape, the head shape, eyes, nose, star and moon, and lines, object, like different objects. So the body shape including people or animals. It doesn't have to just a people shape. And the last row, you're going to have a different color to it. Okay, so what I want you to do is study and look closer to find those shape right here. Like here is the head shape. So you will want to, this is a kind of like an empty one, okay? So you will draw like a body shape. So here is the body that I see, kind of, so right here, right here. And the head shape, there's a head right here. So this is my head shape right here. And then with a little Google line right there. And then the eyes, here's the eyes right here. And then we have star and moon. So you can do star. And then you can do moon right there. You know, fill out all this chart. And then different line, you have this zigzag line going right there.
You can do it with the dice so it's mixed up.
Yeah, after you fill it up, then you're going to have a whole chart that's going to look like this. Okay, I will give you time to kind of observing it and then fill it up. Then on the last chart, I want you to use a color pencil or marker and just kind of mark the colors. Like, so for example, this one is blue, red, and yellow. So just kind of put that in. Okay, you don't have to do the block because we're going to use a Sharpie for his block. Okay. All right. Now, after you finish it, what we're going to do is we're going to recreate Miro's image. So here is a blank piece of paper, and Scott and I are going to roll the dice. If you don't have a dice, you just write down the number. We have it at the studio, but you can also write down the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a card, and then you can just flip it, okay? So here, Scott going to go ahead and roll the dice. Okay, so it's 3. So you want to look at the 3 right here. And the 3, it shows the body shape. So go ahead and draw a body shape. And I'm going to roll the dice. Mine is 2. So you're going to go to the head shape. So my head shape is right here. So you can either do it on top of it, or you can overlap it. So here, I'm going to overlap here. And this is the hair. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to say that's a 4, because our dice only has 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
How's that? So I'm going to put in the eyes, and I'm going to put the eye in a different place. Good. So you can keep going until you filled up the whole pages, or you want to leave it some part, like here's the moon star. You can also add the moon. I'm going to add my moon on the ground because I always look up the moon, but now I want to look down the moon a little bit. So after this, we're going to create, and then go ahead and make one more. Okay.
And that's a different line. So for the background, we're going to create that dreamlike kind of background, or like the image that when we close our eyes. And here we're going to use, it's called wet on wet, meaning that your paper need to be wet. I'm just going to spray the water to it. And you don't want to paint just the whole thing, just kind of paint around it. And later on, we're going to come back in to put the primary color to it. So I do see some brown. And also some green. So again, put some brown in there around it. Actually, I can just put the whole thing in, and then because the colors is going to overtake that. If you feel like you want to create even more texture, you can also use the salt and alcohol. Okay, make sure your brushes has enough water. A lot of time I see students not using enough water or too much waters. So the way to control it is you want to dip into, let's see if you guys can see the brushes. You want to dip it into the plate and then drag it. This will be kind of take out that extra water out. And if you want to have more water, then you just don't drag it, okay? So I'll put it right here. So this is only a practice, so you don't have to feel like you had to be perfect. Okay, once this is dry, then you can start to put in the primary colors. Put in those red, yellow, and blue. So we're going
the color
to
scheme that you would choose would be by rolling the dice also. Right?
Yeah, so the rolling the dice is just really helping you to make a decision. But if you feel like you know exactly how you want to do it, you can go ahead and do that as well. But rolling dice is also could be a fun game for you and for your family as well.